Broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Hello, everybody. This is Randy Jones with eThink Education. Thank you for joining us for our most recent partner webinar, this time featuring Course Merchant and Yet Analytics. I'm excited about this one, first and foremost, because they're really great products. Secondly, because I really enjoy the people that we've partnered with at Course Merchant and Yet Analytics. Yet Analytics actually being right down the road here in Baltimore. And Course Merchant is catching up with one of the Course Merchant folks who was on the call today, just last week out at OLC. So we have a little bit of time here. I'd like to actually stall as we have some folks who are still trickling in to join us. What I'd like to do is direct your attention to the questions pane of the GoToWebinar control panel. I'm going to ask you to ask as many questions as you would like during this session today. The best sessions we have are always the most interactive. And after each of our partners talks to us a little bit about their solution, they'll be able to either in the chat or out loud answer the questions that you have. So if you could find that questions pane, just say a quick hello to me. Tell me where you're in from. Have you been to any conferences recently? Will you be at ATD? I'll be at ATD next week. No, maybe 2 weeks from now. I think it's 2 weeks from now out in San Diego. If you can find that questions pane as we wait for a few folks to trickle in, just say a quick hello. I'd appreciate it. Looks like we've got some folks in from Canada today. Good to see. All over the world. Phoenix. A couple folks who will be joining us out at ATD. That's good to see. I know we have some current eThink clients who are joining us. That's excellent. Georgia, hello, out in Georgia, New York. All right. Well, I want to respect everybody's time. I did my best to stall and let everybody else trickle in, but I'm going to go ahead and jump right in today. My name is Randy Jones. I'm the Vice President here at eThink Education. I'm joined by Martin Broughton and Todd Eakes from Course Merchant. If you're not familiar with Course Merchant, it's the best, in my opinion, the best e-commerce solution on the market. They do a lot more than that. Looking forward to hearing from Martin today. And for those of you who are on the line, you'll probably see some follow-up from Todd. And we have Margaret Ruth, the Chief Customer Experience Officer at Yet Analytics. Yet's doing some really cool things, so I'm looking forward to hearing from Margaret. I did have Margaret's team present to our team, I think about 2 weeks ago, to talk a little bit more about her solution. Certainly a growing business that's we're hearing more and more of our customers looking for the analytics and the LRS and the XAPI and everything that's provided by Yet. Quick background as we jump in here, a little bit about eThink. We are an official Moodle partner and an official Totara partner. What I'll do today is tell you a little bit about eThink, a little bit about Moodle, a little bit about Totara, and then we're going to jump right in to the presentations today. So here's what we do at eThink. As I said, we're certified Moodle and Totara partners. For every one of our clients, we become the extension of their team responsible for their learning management system. We call that a fully managed experience. So if a client of ours were to come to us and say, hey, I would like for our director of L&D to have an observer role over this subset of courses, we'd go in and hands-on make that change, make that edit, whatever our clients want us to do. We're extremely hands-on. Again, we're the extension of their team responsible for their LMS. So they come to us to make sure that what they're looking to accomplish can be accomplished within their LMS. Clients look to us at a few different times. We work in the higher ed market, the K-12 market, the corporate market, the professional learning corporate market is far and away our fastest growing. And clients come to us when maybe they're already running Moodle or Totara, and they're just not happy with their experience. Moodle specifically can be self-hosted. It can be very difficult. They come to us for that expertise. We'd host it for them. They come to us when they're unhappy with their old proprietary LMS, their closed source solution that maybe has gotten a little long in the tooth, a little clunky. It's not very flexible. They're looking for something that's quite a bit more flexible that can meet their needs. Or in the corporate world right now, we're seeing a lot of clients that are coming to us that just don't have an LMS yet. And our fully managed solution fits them well, being that they don't have anything in place yet. A little bit of background on Moodle. I did look at the attendee list. I think most of the folks on the call today know Moodle well. I won't spend a lot of time here, but Moodle is the most widely used LMS in the world. There's 130 million learners on Moodle, and it's best to be deployed by experts. I got into that a little bit when I was saying that you can self-host, but it can be difficult. They say Moodle is free like a puppy, just meaning that you need to make sure you train the puppy to make sure that puppy behaves and acts appropriately. That's what we do. We train Moodle to make sure it meets the needs of each one of our clients. And the M in Moodle stands for modular. If you've been on any of our other webinars, we've been discussing an awful lot lately the e-learning ecosystem. 10 years ago, 12 years ago, it was the LMS, and that was it. That was the beginning and the end of the e-learning ecosystem. Everything happened in the LMS. Now, if you attend these conferences, like we're going to ATD in 2 weeks, went to Learning Technologies in the UK out there and saw the team at Course Merchant while we were out there. These conference halls are filled, hundreds of vendors in the e-learning ecosystem, and it can be overwhelming. So one thing that we try to do is have these types of sessions and have partners like Yet and Course Merchant. So when our clients come to us and say, hey, here's what our ideal e-learning ecosystem looks like, here's where we want to be, we can point them in the right direction and make sure that we build something that's truly going to meet their needs. And Moodle is used across all facets of learning. Even now we're finding that our corporations that we work with or our government organizations we work with Peace Corps, the United Nations, Liberty Mutual, Guaranteed Rate. We're hearing that their younger learners have now actually come back to them and said, oh yeah, I recognize this system. I used it in high school, and then I used it in college, and now I'm using it again. So it really does cover every aspect of e-learning. Totara, on the other hand, is designed specifically for the workplace. What Totara did is they took the Moodle code and they added some additional features specific to the workplace. We still see probably of our professional learning corporate clients, 70 to 80% still choose Moodle. There's a couple different ways that we go through a discovery process to try to figure out what the best solution might be. But Totara is a great option, and based on the need set of the client or of the prospect, that's how we decide if we want to go with Totara or Moodle during that discovery process. There's over 1,400 organizations and 10 million users utilizing Totara. And this slide here is admittedly obnoxious, and it's trying to prove a point, right? This is what the e-learning ecosystem looks like. These are some of our partners that when clients come to us and say, hey, what do you recommend? We're able to reach out and pull different pieces into that ecosystem. We are completely agnostic. So if we have a client that wants to use a solution that we don't have a quote unquote official partnership with, that's fine. That's fine. But we do try to point our clients in the direction of the solutions that we know work and that are doing a great job in the industry. So all that said, to set the stage for the partner spotlight here and the idea of this e-learning ecosystem, we try to pull it together every time one of our customers comes to us and says, hey, we need to sell courses. We need an e-commerce solution of some sort. It's always off to Martin and Todd's team. They do a tremendous job. So with that being said, Martin, I'd like to welcome you. Thank you for joining us. And I'm going to give you the floor here.
Excellent, thank you, Randy. Thank you very much. Thank you, and good to speak to you all. So let me just start sharing my screen. So, Randy, just give me the head up that you can see my demo store.
Good to go, Martin.
Hey, excellent stuff. So, and tell me when I need to stop as well, so Margaret can come in and do her stuff, because I'll just talk forever.
I know you will. We'll do it.
Exactly. Good man. So, again, thanks everyone for taking the time out today to let me sort of show you just 15, 20 minutes of a bit about what we do at Course Merchant. And I want to sort of demonstrate and basically show you that we are more than just a shopping cart, or a checkout experience. Now, we just sell courses. We don't have shops that sell jewelry and dog accessories, or whatever you want to call them. We are built for education and training. That's what we do. That's our sector. That's what we know, and that's what we've been doing since 2008. 2009 we first started, and now we have grown to 250 clients all across the world. We last year were just shy of $100 million went through Course Merchant as across all of our stores. We're ISO 27001 accredited as well, and we work with about 35 to 40 different payment gateways across the world on there. So there's usually a gateway that we will work with you, and it's your gateway as well. So let me dive in really and just show you what we're all about. I'm going to show you some examples of some stores that we've built, just so you can get an idea, and I'm going to come back here and I'm going to make a purchase and do some enrollments and stuff around there. So here's one of our clients. This is the University College of London. This is their Extend sort of department. So what you're seeing here is their website. So this isn't Course Merchant. So what I want to do, I'm going to take you to Course Merchant, and what we do at Course Merchant, when we start the project, we actually work with you and your teams, and we build you a fully responsive store that is a mirror, or let's say it's the design is matched to your existing website. So I just hit that go button there, and I'm now in Course Merchant. But actually, from a user's point of view, you have no idea that you're on a Course Merchant store, because of the tight integration that we have between the website and then the store, and then the integration directly in with the LMS, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment. It's a seamless user experience between the two on there. Now I can go into a course in here, so let's go into this course on this page, and you'll see there that they've got a nice big banner at the top there, nice big images, course descriptions, stuff you would expect to see on a course description page. So you've got meet the teams, information about pricing, and the good thing with Course Merchant itself is actually a content management system. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's as powerful as a WordPress or a Drupal sort of style system, but it's built for education and training. So it's like a micro CMS. And the good thing is that you get admin access to go in at any time and update these descriptions. Now, we have a team in-house that will build this for you from day one. We try and hand over a fully functional store so you can get selling your courses straight away. But if all of a sudden you want to come in and update a description, or if a team member was to leave, you don't have to come to us every time to change the page. You can go into the admin area anytime, update the page, create new courses, create new voucher codes, change, update category pages, everything you need to do, you can actually get the admin access to do on this site. Okay. Now, I mentioned about Course Merchant being a CMS, and the reason I say CMS, I say micro CMS, is some of our clients actually use Course Merchant to power their whole website. So everything you're seeing on these guys' site here at VetBloom is Course Merchant. Apart from the blog, we don't power blogs. People like to use their own sort of blogging tools, but everything across the top there, so the homepage is us, about, topics, events, partners, community, contact, everything is Course Merchant on there. So every page is Course Merchant. So if I go into topics, this is their category or their catalog structure, and go into clinical, you'll see then I'll go into a list of their different categories. So you see they've got a number of different categories. I can go into, say, dentistry, and then I'll see a number of dentistry courses inside that category in there. And if I go into one of these here, you'll see that the text is a lot smaller than the last page you saw. So every store that we build has a different look and feel. We don't just say to you, you must have this design. There is a template, away you go. We'll work with you to get the look and the feel of the store right. Now, I can simply go here, buy now. You can add to my cart over here. go straight into the shopping cart. I can go back, continue shopping, and I can add multiple items to my shopping cart as well on that side. I won't do that. I'll just zero that on there. And now I'm going to show you this one as well. This is one of our more recent clients. They went live early part of this year. Now these guys, again, this is their website, and where Course Merchant is, you see where we've got View Courses up here. So we've embedded the link into their header. Now I want to point out the URL and on this one. You see they've got Mind Boost Learning. If I hit View Courses, you'll see the only difference is it now says store.mindboostlearning.com. Now, I don't know about you, but actually I don't spend any of my time looking at URLs on different sites. Well, actually, that's not true. I do it for a living, so I actually do look at URLs, but normal general public, you don't happen to look at URLs too much on that side. So and because of the design is so tight, you're not going out to a third-party site that looks very different to where you've just hit on that side. So it's all about that user retention, the usability of the system between the store and the website, and then the direct integration with the LMS on that side. Now, I'll show you the sort of layout on these courses. If I go into this course in here, you see they've got a nice big add to basket button up the top right there. So a great sort of call to action straight on their page. They've got information about the accreditations. They've got some tabs over here about the content, the access, and information about the course and reviews. And also on their page, they've also got a video embedded. So because it's a CMS, you can add video content onto the page. So perhaps there's a bit of a 1 minute or a 30-second overview around the course and why should I buy the course. So you've got to remember, this is your marketing piece. This is why people are going to buy your course. They're going to hit your course description page, and you need to sell it to them. So you need the flexibility in there and the design that's going to catch their eye and then go, actually, this is a course for me. They add to the basket, and then they go through that sort of user journey on that side. So hopefully that sort of everyone understands how we sort of work with our clients really to get the look and the feel of their store. So let me go back to our demo store, and I'm going to sort of just show you around here, and I'm going to go and buy some stuff in here as well. So one thing to pick up on with Course Merchant, obviously Course Merchant is built for e-learning. However, there is now in Course Merchant the option to, if you wanted to sell face-to-face classes, we can add dates, locations. We've also got what we call our inventory. Now, ignore the dates. This has been like this for a while. So you can see there that we've got 770 seats available. Now, if you're selling e-learning courses, online courses, you don't need an inventory on there because you want to sell as many as you can. However, if you're selling a face-to-face or a workshop and you're using something like a Moodle or a Totara as the LMS to perhaps have some learning materials in there, perhaps there's a video in there, some sort of a repository of information, or even blended learning in there. You could put some sort of learning content before the face-to-face class. You can use that with Course Merchant on that side. But also we have this option here of, is it out of stock on there? So I could come in here and go, that's the session I want. It's not available. They've sold out. I can join a waiting list. So I could come in here and go, actually, I'm going to join the waiting list. I will join the waiting list there. The store owner will now receive an email saying that Marty Broughton has signed up for this course. Please let him know the next date on there. You can also then send them an email from within the system to say, hey, this is the next date of the session, or you could just reach out to them and say, a place to come available, here's a link to go and buy the place on there. So you can do stuff like that with Course Merchant as well. So let me go into back to our homepage, and let's go and buy something, and let's talk about some features as we move forward. So you see there we've got some featured courses on the page as well, and I can go into advanced chemistry. And again, this page is just standard sort of text. That's why I like to show the UCL and the vet blooms and the Mind Boost, so you can see the flexibility with what we do. So just scrolling down, you see there we've got some pricing over here. Again, inventory over there. If it is online learning, just leave it blank in the admin area and it won't show. Now, with Course Merchant, we've got varying degrees of discounting. So with Course Merchant, you've got your what we call our standard price of, say, $300. However, if your business model is that, actually, do you know what? I sell 1 seat at a time, yeah, but actually, I sell 5, 10, 15, 20 seats to large organizations, or 100 seats or 1,000 seats on there. We can support that with Course Merchant, and you can have a tiered pricing in there as well if I was to sell multiple seats on that side as well. So, and I'll demonstrate that in a moment as to how that works, and we have a whole seat allocation with Course Merchant as well on that side. And then at the bottom there, you've got some related courses on there. So from an upsell point of view, you can see other courses they might be interested in on there. Now I'm just going to buy buy one for now, and then I'll go back and do some more in a moment. So we're now into the shopping cart, and again, I could go back to the store, keep buying more, and buy as many as I need to on this side. We'll work with you in regards to any tax or VAT requirements on that side. We also work with you if you want to sell physical items. So if you want to sell like books and DVDs, USB, CDs, whatever you want to do that's part of a learning package, we can have a shipping rate in there as well on that side. So we can sort of do a flat shipping rate on there, or we can do it by weight as well on that side. So there's stuff we can do around there. Now, voucher and coupon codes. Here you've got single use, multi-use, unlimited use. You can constrain a voucher and coupon code to a product, a category, obviously a course. You can set by a fixed amount, expiry dates on there, percentages. You can bulk upload voucher codes. So if you want to sell stuff via a third party, one of my clients did some marketing with Groupon, and Groupon said, that's fine, here's 500 voucher codes, go and put them in your system. We can upload a CSV and away you go on that side. So there's flexibility around the discounting side as well. So there you go, I've just put in a half price one in there, let's give me a 50% discount. Now, I hit the checkout. When we get to this screen here, Course Merchant itself doesn't actually have a user database. Now, Course Merchant has a tight integration with the learning management system, whether it's Moodle or Totara, doesn't matter. We link in directly to the LMS. So when I create an account, this is going to create an account directly inside the LMS on this side. So there's no having to create an account on Course Merchant to then create an account inside the LMS or the Moodle or Totara as well. So it actually creates one account and it's single sign-on directly to the LMS on there. On the flip side, if I've already got an account inside the Moodle or Totara, I would come in here and go, oh yeah, my username is X and Y, password is this, log in, and it would look into the LMS and it would take me into the invoice screen to make payment. So we only have the one account area in there, and that's in the LMS on that side. So I'm just going to create a new account. So just give me a few seconds to make up a name. Let's be, there we go. Let's just be, there we go. Now, I will say that it won't let me duplicate, and I don't think I've used this name in the past, but as I say myself, Todd, or some other colleagues may have. So let's have a look. Oh, I've definitely used Smythe, so let's have a look and see what happens here. Now, what will happen if I have used it? It will flag up and say, hey, you already have an account, log in or change your details. So let's see. So it's going to look into the Moodle now. It will look for the email as the unique identifier in there. So it's going to look into there, see if that exists. So give that a few seconds. Now, it's worth noting them fields there with company name on it that you saw a moment ago. We can custom them. So if there's some registration fields that you need to adapt or change, we can add them in as we move forward on that side. Now, that's looked into the LMS. It's gone, hang on, yeah, the account's not there. Great, straight in, it's created the account. But it hasn't done the enrollment because we haven't done the payment yet on this side. So now we're into the invoice or the checkout screen on there. Now, remember we started off and it was $300. We then got down to 150, and now if you see the total, it's now 75. So it's, hang on, whoa, I've lost more money. However, what we've got in Course Merchant is a feature, and we call it profile discounting. So you see here where it says member discount of 50%. So what we've got in Course Merchant is we've got voucher codes, we've got multi-seat discounting, all of that, but we've also got domain-based discounting. So I've logged in with my testorder.net account, and it's gone, hang on, you're a member, so you receive a further discount in the store, which is great. And it works really well if you're selling via partners or resellers or organizations that you sell to. Rather than providing them with X amount of voucher codes, you can say, do you know what, when you log in with your eThink email or analytics email, you will receive a 25% discount on all courses. Or you can get granular and actually go, you only get it off this and this course, so you can override it as well on certain products on that side as well. So it's just another way to offer an incentive to actually buy through me. Now, I always say, and I say on every single demo I do, if you move forward with Course Merchant and you then put a Gmail address or a me.com or apple.com address in there or Yahoo, please remember to remove them from the store when you go live, because if not, everyone that buys a course, they use a Gmail address, they get a discount, which we don't want to do. So just a heads up on that side. Okay, so we're now into the last stage of payment. So we go scroll down the page. There's all my details from the last screen. Now, we can ask for a PO number. If you want to go the corporate route and you want to pay by purchase order, we can do that. I could put a PO number in there, no problems at all. And then what I would do, I would hit pay by invoice. I would agree to the terms. I hit proceed. And then it won't give me immediate access to the course because actually I've got an invoice outstanding. So you would get a notification. You would raise an invoice in your internal systems or your finance systems, send the email to Jacob. Jacob would then make payment, and away you go on that side as well. Now, I'm going to do the pay by credit card. Now, I will say as a caveat, this is a test gateway on here with NetBank. So it works 90% of the time, but the very sort of small margin, it does sometimes fail because it is a staging environment. So we work with a number of payment gateways, as I said at the start. We work with about 35 to 40 different payment gateways. We only work with hosted payment gateways. And what I mean by that is we don't and you don't store any credit card data. We call out to the payment gateway and then they take the payment. So let's see if it works here. So we go out to NetBanks. There we go, out to NetBanks. We enter the card details in a secure environment, in a familiar environment. People will see this all the time. Enter the card details, hit pay now. It does all the magic in the background, and then it comes back to the exit screen that you're seeing now. And it says, thank you for your order. Now, all these details you're seeing here, one, go to the client, and also you can get a copy of this as well. And you can actually have it go to multiple people inside your organization. So if sales need one, if admin need one, if finance need a copy, you can all get a copy of the email. But what we're looking for is this link up here that says click here to access your training now. Now, this would be a nice big shiny button on a live store. I click this link and then it goes directly into Moodle, and there you go. Bog standard, straight in. I now straight into my course. I don't have to wait for an account to be created. There's no delay. There's no, I'm buying a course at 5 o'clock on a Friday evening. Oh, I can't do anything because I haven't got immediate access. They've got to create an account. It has to wait until Monday. All of that scenario goes away on there. So it's a seamless sort of transition from one to the other on there. Now, what we can do with Course Merchant is you can embed buy now buttons in different areas of the LMS or email newsletters, marketing campaigns. We've embedded one here in the end of a Moodle course or a Moodle block. If I hit this link now, this is going to take me directly back to the store. It knows who I am. So you see there, it's giving me a member discount of 50%. I hit the checkout, knows who I am again. Scroll down there, you see my details are in there. Again, I'll go for free on this one. Now, I will just say on there, free won't be there on a live store. Free's just there for a demo and test purposes on there. There is a free option with Course Merchant, and I'll show it in a moment, where it bypasses everything in the checkout. You won't see any of this on a free purchase normally. So I'll hit proceed, same as before, looking for the link up here, and I'm now going to go straight in, and I should be seeing multiple courses in there. And that one there was actually a bundle. That's another feature with Course Merchant. You can also bundle courses together. So you might want to sell one course at a time, but you might want to sell 3 courses as a bundle, and it's priced the same as buying 2. So it's an incentive to buy more courses. And you can configure that in Course Merchant and build a bundle that way. So lots you can do around there as well. What's the time? Okay, good. So let me show you another couple of features with Course Merchant. Now, I mentioned it earlier, and I'm just going to try and see where it is in the store. It might be in chemistry. Is a free course. So you see there, organic chemistry, enroll for free. If I hit this now, I'll do this quite quickly, but it will go quick. Hit enroll free. It's going to bypass everything you've just seen, and I'm straight in. So if you're offering MOOCs, or you're offering, even you're offering a module to someone that actually is a bit of an incentive to say that come in, it's free. You know, you haven't got to buy it, and actually you've got their details as long as they've opted in to be heard about the marketing of the course and or etc. on there. You can then sort of reach out to them, or even you could then, if they bought a free course, perhaps in the bottom of that free course you could put a little buy now link, and actually you could get even I'll say even cleverer. You could embed a voucher code inside that buy now link to actually give a discount when they hit it on that link as well. So there's lots you can do as an incentive to buy that course on there as well. So you see there that it's a free course, and again I'm straight in to the LMS on that side. Just going to go back, and I'm just going to buy. I'm aware of time. Randy, how long have I got? 5 minutes?
Yeah, I was going to give you the couple-minute warning here. We do
Ah,
3 to 5.
excellent. That's good stuff, man. Thank you. I just want to show people the multi-seat, and then I'm going to take a breath. So, I'm going to go into. I'm going to stay logged in as Jacob. What I want to do, I want to show you the. If you imagine Jacob was now the training manager. So Jacob's come in. He's done this course. It's great. I now want to buy this for my team. So I'm going to come in here and go, yeah, actually, the 10 people in my team would really benefit from this course. I'm going to come into the store. I can buy now 10 seats in here. So it knows who I am, so I've got a discount if needs be. I hit the checkout, and exactly the same flow as you've seen previously. The only difference being, there was a tab earlier, I didn't touch on it, where it said, are you buying this course on behalf of someone else? If I'd have ticked that, it would have routed me to our managed license area, which is the area I'm going to go to now. So you can buy on behalf of another person as well. Now I'm going to agree to the terms. I'm going to hit free, and I'm going to proceed. So at this point, obviously the link would usually say, click here to access your training. Well, now it says click here to manage your licenses. So I'm now the training manager, and I now have the authority to go in here, and actually I can enroll my learners onto the course. So you see here that we've actually got two options with Course Merchant. We have a simple option, which is this option down here, when I could just be, let's be Pete Holmes. Test.net. And then what happens now is that you'll see the license. No, it won't, because he's already in there. Oh, there you see. So it won't let me duplicate. It's quite interesting. It won't let me duplicate because it knows that I've used that in the past. So I can force the enrollment on there. So yeah, he's done the course in the past. I know it's correct. So you'll see it's gone down to 9 on that side. He'll then get an email saying, Pete, you've been enrolled in a course. Here's your username and password. And if they're not in the system, it will actually create them in the system and create them a username and password on there as well. So it's just a way to offer, rather than sort of having the I'll buy one seat at a time. Actually, you can now open your market to a corporate market or a partners or resellers, and you can go that option as well. I can look at stuff like previously enrolled students on there as well, all stuff you can do around that side. And then the advanced option, and I'll touch on it just for 20 seconds, is you basically have to create a list in the store. So you create a list, so it could just be East Coast Team 1. You assign the product to that list or the course to that list, and then you go into here and you add students. And it's as before, but you've now got 3 options. So first name, last name, email. You've got line data separated by a comma, or you can bulk upload a CSV file on there as well. And I'm going to stop there, Randy, rather than sort of going on. So hopefully that gives a really good coverage. I have glossed over a lot of features on there, but hopefully people can see how the single sign-on, the enrollment works, and that sort of stuff. Any questions anyone's coming with, or we can have questions at the end?
Yeah, let's do questions at the end just to make sure that we have the time for yet. And I do appreciate the questions that have come in so far. Please continue to ask them. Martin will be able to answer them here directly in the questions pane, or if there is time at the end, we can go ahead and talk those through out loud. And I will say that I know a lot of our clients, a lot of the eThink clients, are really happy with Course Merchant and their solution. So Martin, I appreciate your time today.
No worries, still. Thanks for allowing us in.
Sure. Margaret, I appreciate you joining us as well. The floor is yours.
Wonderful. So it looks like we're good on the window, and I should be in full presentation mode now. Is that reflected?
I saw you hit present. I still see the smaller slide.
Well, maybe we'll just do that.
Looks like right under present. For me, it says start presentation.
Still now showing main screen. Okay. Well, let's see if I can get out of this. And well, hi everyone. I'm Margaret. I was going to open my time together with you all with a question around. I know a lot of people may have connected with us previously or heard a little bit about our company from our work around the Experience API. So it's definitely a big part of what we do. So if anyone wants to add in the chat, if they, just raise your hand or make a comment if you are familiar with that. If not, that's fine too, because what I was actually going to do today is go through a little bit more of a overview of some of the different ways that people are applying XAPI, particularly when it comes to designing better learning experiences. So we'll just go through the slides this way if that works for you. So those slides changed. Did you see that happen, Randy?
You know, and maybe Morton can be a second set of eyes for me here. I still see, and maybe it's just frozen on my end, the first slide, the intro slide.
Yeah, you're right there. I think it froze on the
Oh,
intro
there
one.
we go. Margaret, much
Maybe
better.
now?
I see you moving now.
Oh, great. Okay, perfect. There we go. Okay, so to go over this, so just to give a little bit of background, so we provide tools and solutions to improve learning and talent development. Some of that is related to the Experience API, but a lot about that is really looking at from learning analytics to data logistics, really how do we turn the learning experiences that people in our organization are having, regardless of their role, into business intelligence and generate outcomes for organizations. So from most learning and development leaders are really focused on three big problems right now. So they want to be able to empower their employees. Typically, we're hearing people say that they want to do that by providing better data about learning and performance directly to the learners and managers themselves. So they're kind of getting away from this aggregated data, but actually providing those resources directly to the learners. They want to focus on some automation, so really move from a lot of manual data processing into more real-time reporting and get some of that automated analytics as part of their team's workflows. And then they really want to link learning to performance outcomes. So how do we connect the things that we're doing in learning and training directly to the outcomes that we're seeing on the job? And there's a couple ways that we're seeing organizations look at this. So the big question that each of those revolves around is how do we design better learning experiences? How do we collect the data relevant to those learning experiences and then apply it? So for most of you probably see yourself somewhere in either this today category or in the 6 to 8 month category. But this is basically a way that we're seeing people move through the development of improving the design of their learning ecosystem. Most people start with a very messy, there's many different reports, there's no interoperability, things are very siloed. Going on a 6 to 8 month, once you kind of enter into the journey of moving towards more interoperable systems, we see people using the different data sources that they have. So whether that's your learning management system, web content, a CMS, or an HR system, connecting that into one view through a managed data source. So typically in our work, that's the learning record store, and then using that to automate those reports and start doing that connected data and analytics piece. But ultimately, we see organizations wanting to move towards this more very unified learning experience interface, so where the learning, regardless of where it's coming from, is happening through more of a unified learner experience portal. The roadmap that people are moving through is really looking at how do we start collecting and connecting data from the different tools and resources that we have into a way that we can actually see it in a unified and interoperable view. So for some organizations, that means they're starting with a learning management system and just connecting that to their learning record store. Learning record store is just a special database for XAPI data specifically. Sometimes that means connecting it to generate other reports or visualizations. Sometimes that means connecting data between your learning management system, a content management system, and your learning record store. But the big piece, the big vision is how do we connect all the different tools and resources or those different learning sources into a unified view and have that reporting and analytics capacity built into it as well. So that's actually what we're going to take a look at today, is this fourth category of how do we actually connect data from maybe multiple learning management systems, content management system, open web content, or other applications using XAPI and a learning record store as kind of the back end of this. We're going to be looking at the front end side of it. And there's kind of two big problems that we're going to look at. So in terms of designing better learning experiences, there's the big problem for learners. So there's so many different pathways into content because there's so many different resources out there. So for some people, that the way to solving their challenge is let me let me do a Google search, right? How do I start with the information that I think I need to know and find it? For some people, that means I have a very specific problem. I'm trying to go to our resource library or our course library and identify what resources or courses might help me solve the problem that I know I need to get better on. Or in other choices, someone might say, I found this really great article, I found this great resource. How does it fit into my learning pathway or the competencies or skills that I'm trying to develop? On the flip side, for us as learning and instructional designers, we have a big lack of insight into the learner experience. So some of the things that we are desiring for our learners and in our, enhanced learning ecosystems, that's what we're working to design. We want to get better usage analytics. We want to know what resources are being used, what content is most valuable to people, so that we can then either improve that content or make new content in that same way. We're providing a lot more informal learning opportunities to our stakeholders, because not only do we have required courses or content to move through, but there's optional or self-selected content that people are also wanting to use. So how do we curate those resources or measure that informal learning? And then there's a competency or skill alignment piece. For every role within our organizations, there are specific skills or competencies that we want our people to be developing. So how do we know if the resources are actually related to each other and how they're building learner skills over time? So in order to provide a solution for this big problem, the Yet Analytics team developed what we call the Yet LXI, or the which stands for Learning Experience Interface. And that's a way to unify access to formal and informal learning content, regardless of where it is hosted on the web, through this Learning Experience Interface portal. So there's a variety of different components about this, but basically the important things to note are that the LXI enables the collection and tagging of resources across any source. So that could be from an authenticated source like your Moodle or Totara instance. It could be something from a larger course library or open web content or Vimeo or YouTube videos, any of those type of things. And then delivers the search experience of that through a unified discovery and experience platform, so that you can have that informal and self-directed learning components. The other important thing to note, like everything that we do and everything that we build at Yet Analytics, everything is fully XAPI instrumented and XAPI enabled. So we really stand by the power of data interoperability, and that is a way to get the advanced learning analytics that many organizations are looking for. So what we're going to do now is go ahead and take a tour of the LXI and kind of look at it through the different features and different ways to utilize it. So at the base level, it's a unified search portal for learners. So you can register different pieces of content from across the web or across your CMS or LMS platforms to this portal. And that allows users to search by title, competency, skills, just regular search. You are able to feature content based on the role or by a department. So this here is the L&D's picks. The content is very intuitively presented and it's very responsive to interface. And you can also track identity and or general user activity, so that you could use this as an authenticated system with whatever your identity management is to have people log in. So you're able to connect the usage back to your learners. So let's say that we went ahead and clicked on one of these pieces of content, and there's kind of two ways to look at content here. There's individual pieces or there's playlists. So playlists are curated by instructors and learners, so that either you as an instructional designer or a manager can say, these are the pieces of content that I want my team to go through. Or as an individual learner, you can say, oh, I'm really interested in this particular topic and I'm going to curate my own resources about it for myself. So that content is presented in a variety of formats. Recommended or related content is surfaced based on what the content that's actually in the playlist is. And then you have some at-a-glance statistics for each piece of content. So how often it's been shared out externally, how many people have hearted or liked it, how many people completed it, how many people have viewed it. The way that content actually gets into the platform, is by registration. So that content is then tagged by topic and competency. So that content is either can be crowdsourced, so anyone on your team would be able to add content to this system, or you can curate it by authorized users if you only want certain pieces of content to be on it. So that content is then registered based on its URL as its unique identifier. And then the content is then tagged based on the types of skills, learning tags, or competencies that you want. So if you have particular skills like data management or database skills, reporting, data management, cleaning, et cetera, things like that are in a particular subset. Or you have things like it's more want to organize things more by group, like retail managers, video content. You can apply those different types of things, and then that can actually be mapped to competencies or skill matrices depending on how your organization's talent development group works. Then taking all that into consideration, so once you've tagged a piece of content, that goes into this ability to browse that content by source and topic. So this is for an individual group who has provided a set of resources. So this team, the learning and development team here, has curated a set of resources that they're recommending to the greater network within the organization. So you can kind of think about these networks as cohorts or groups of learners that you want to lead in some way. And then what it all comes down to again is being able to, one of those goals that I shared at the very beginning was wanting to connect learners and managers directly with the data about their own learning performance. So within the platform, there are individual learner profiles and content and usage reporting that can go to the managers, but also an individual learner can actually say, take a look at not only how their activity log shapes up, they can manage and share their own playlists, but they can also see here a way to track their skill development in real time across the skills and competencies that your organization is aligned to, so they can see where they are progressing. And that's all done through XAPI enablement and data generation from the actual user experience itself. So where this kind of fits in with our Yet Analytics suite of products, so the Yet Learning Experience Interface is this portal to unify that access. We also provide essentially the back end and the front end services or features around that. So the LXI might be your entry point to browsing this content or providing a curated playlist and content experience for informal learning for your organizations. The Learning Record Store is the database where all of that information about the learner activity is going. And then we also provide data experience dashboards on the front side if you wanted to make more specific visualizations and dashboards about experience for different team members. So we're going to take just a quick look at those as well. So where this all fits in is if we're thinking about this as an interoperable learning ecosystem, the learning experience sits over here on this side. So it's the access point to content for the learners, and that data is then going back into the Learning Record Store. That can also be aligned with, say, directly information from your Moodle instance or other tools as well. And that data is then sent into the Learning Record Store using XAPI as the way to transfer that data. So looking at this from our Yet products perspective, the learning experience, our Learning Record Store is the world's most visual learning record store. It's also certified conformant to the XAPI specification. And that really allows you to unify and visualize data from across your learning ecosystem into these automated analytics dashboards. So all of these visualizations that you see here based on the data that's coming in are automatically generated so that kind of more your data or business analyst can look at how the learning is connected to performance through these automated data dashboards. This is just a subset of the different visualizations that are part of our Learning Record Store. As I mentioned, we also provide the data experience dashboards, which come in a variety of different formats, but they allow you to get learning data insights directly into the hands of people who need it most. So a couple ways to think about this. It's really how do we take the data that's coming in that's unified from across the systems and tools that we've connected to our learning record store, and create very actionable data views to get the dashboards most relevant to your team directly into their hands. So this is all live updating, real-time XAPI powered data, providing an at-a-glance insight to those different users. And there's several different options that I'll just go through here. And we also, so being able to provide and manage learning analytics through this. So this is a high-level overview for a group leader of the learning analytics dashboard, showing not only things like top content courses, but how engaged people are with different tools, what the trends and patterns in learner performance are over time, and then things like activity logs and completion rates in general. This also goes down into kind of this drill down view where you could click to see an individual learner or an individual group, and see their statistics as well in terms of activity, resource use, and adoption across tools, or their engagement and trends in engagement and learning performance as well. We also provide specific views around different types of functions. So this is for onboarding and role readiness, being able to actually see based on the role that a person currently has, how they're performing against the competencies and skills they've been assigned, versus the role that they would like to have, so their role readiness. So this person is 30% ready for essentially their promotion, so becoming a customer service representative. So this is, again, putting the data directly into the hands of the people who it's relevant to. This view is also helping prepare employees for future roles. So another view into the gap analysis between the role they have and the role that they want. And then in general, and kind of across all this, we also provide a variety of custom solutions around data assessment, XAPI integrations, any type of competency frameworks, and how do you connect the content that you have to the competencies that you want to develop in your employees, and then be able to present that back to them in a very visual format. And then, of course, the advanced analytics and data interoperability solutions and customized data dashboards as well. So kind of across wherever you are in this journey, whether you're just getting started or you're, quick to add many other different types of learning and training tools into your learning ecosystem, yet analytics helps organizations design and build out interoperable data ecosystems so that regardless of the tools that they have now and to the solutions and programs that you'll have as you continue to develop your L&D programs for future employees, we really work to make sure that the investments you're making now will be future-proofed no matter what other tools and technologies you want to incorporate in the coming years. So kind of that's many of the things that I have. Thank you for including us in this partner webinar. We love working with the eThink team. There's just a couple resources here, so you can go, and I know that we'll post these slides, so you'll be able to get them and go to these links yourself, but this is an example of the learning experience interface in action that you can go take a look at for yourself. There's also a case study and video, or you can learn more about XAPI in general on the Yet blog. We provide weekly resources, educational information about XAPI and how other organizations are putting it into practice and using it to power their learning programs. You can, if you have any questions or need anything from me, this is my email address. If you're interested in having an introductory call or going into any of these products in more detail, Allie, one of my team members, would be very happy to talk to you as well. And in general, that's the link to the Yet Analytics website if you want to learn more about us. But again, thank you, and I appreciate the opportunity to share this very exciting work that we're doing with you all.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Margaret. That was a great visualization of all the hard work your team is going. And thank you to the audience for the questions. Keep them coming. We're going to wrap up here any minute. So if there's any questions that you might want us to answer, please feel free to ask those now. All right, so we should be back to my screen here. I just want to close out with a few last thoughts around eThink and the e-learning ecosystem and maybe why the eThink model has been so successful. We've had 150 or so of our clients come to us directly from our Moodle and Totara competition. And I think a lot of that has to do with the model that we have laid out here and the really tremendous partner network that we've developed, as exampled here through the presentations of both Martin and Margaret. So some of the things that we do that are a bit different than the competition in the market, our support model is completely unlimited. There's no max on hours, there's no max on support tickets. Our clients can come to us and say, hey, I'm looking to accomplish X. Here's the data I'm looking for, the learning analytics, or our VP just came to us and said they want us to start to sell courses. How do we do that? We're happy to introduce you to the partners, or if you have a new integration you need us to do for you, or want to tweak your theme, maybe look at different ways where the learning process happens. The support is completely unlimited, as is integration with any of the third-party modules. So if you were to work with Yet or Course Merchant, we wouldn't charge you to integrate those solutions into your Moodle or Totara site. Our storage is completely unlimited. I know the competitors out there, they do go ahead and cap the storage, or maybe they cap the concurrent users that you have access to in the solutions. Cloud storage is inexpensive. It seems pretty ridiculous to me that this day and age there's still a cap out there in the market. So we've removed that cap. Clients who have been with us for 11 years have access to 11 years worth of their Moodle or Totara data. Free reporting, customizable reporting. Every report we've ever run for every client has been made accessible to our other clients. And if our client comes to us and asks for a new report that we don't have, and that data is in Moodle or Totara, we'll go ahead and customize that report for them. Training, obviously incredibly important. Both Moodle and Totara, especially when they're designed appropriately, it's pretty easy to get into the solutions and start pecking around and know where you're going pretty immediately as the end user. But we do provide free training courses, whether it's training for an administrator, training for faculty or a trainer, training for a learner or a student. We provide those free training courses. And lastly, I know I've harped on this a lot, but not only is the support unlimited, but it really is superior. We have a 99% client retention rate here in our 11th year of business. That's really due to the hard work of some of our support folks. Here's one of our system admins taking this selfie here. I thought I'd throw one of our team photos in here. I think this one is from DevLearn last year. So if you'll be at ATD, we'd love to catch you there. Feel free to send any of us here an email if you'd like a one-on-one demonstration. I know the team at Yet or the team at Course Merchant would be happy to provide those for you. I'm going to stick around just for a few minutes to see if there are additional questions that are being answered right now. Otherwise, we truly appreciate the time. Martin and Margaret, thank you guys so much for joining us today. We do appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you both soon. Again, thank you. We'll stick around for any last minute questions, but otherwise, everybody have a great day. All right, team. I think I see quite a few folks trickling out here. Again, Martin, Margaret, Todd, I do appreciate your time. Looking forward to connecting again sometime soon.
No worries, man. Thanks. Speak soon.
Thanks all.
Yep, thanks so much.